Rahat Project Music CD is conceived as a musical tribute to the friendship, deep respect and affection for the elder poet Mr. O.K. Rahat. This talented Australian creative team has masterfully composed and performed Rahat's poetic lyrics into melodic compilations. Rahat's music tracks blend the vast Australian sounds fused with the music of the Indian subcontinent.
A very good evening to the viewers of Suniye Tau. We have pleasure in again working with the team and special guests who have worked on this project CD for Rahat, our beloved Krishan Rahat uncle. So I have with me these folks, first of all, the project creator and whole soul leader of the idea to its fruition, Mr. Abbas Raza Alvi. Adab and welcome. I have on my left Mr. Juan Lozano, who has been very much the main backbone about the design and art of the CD and its jacket and everything else and the whole idea. And to my right or on top is Mr. Michael Raj, who's one of the main guests here, who has been the main force behind all the textual content and the related marrying of that content to the Australian ethos and thinking, keeping in mind what Raza Bhai, as I call him, Mr. Abbas Raza Alvi, Raza Bhai's whole idea of peace, love and harmony to be spread around the world through this effort, for which our beloved Krishan Rahat uncle, whom I used to call or still do OK uncle, was a torchbearer. Now, besides these folks, the other lady, one of the ladies is Ms. Omila Rahat, or Omila Bir, as she sometimes or most of the time refers to herself. But she is the daughter of OK uncle, who has been very kind and is available in this session for us to thank people personally. On top of that, of course, our very astute compeers, anchors, Mr. Fasihuddin Khan and Iram Rasheed Saheba, who has been managing this whole series so beautifully. So thank you all, the viewers of Suniye Tau, and all of you who are present as the main members of this session. So without further ado, I'll hand over the baton to Mr. Fasihuddin Khan and Iram Rasheed. Thank you, you both.
Thank you very much, Iqtedar bhai, for brief introduction and telling about the program and session. I will refresh quickly about the Rahat project. Again, this project is dedicated for establishing social connection and cohesion, as well as peace and harmony all over the world, irrespective of caste, community, and any nationality. And I welcome all these very dedicated, very creative artists among us, Abbas Raza Alvi, Mr. Juan, Mr. Michael Raj, and the daughter of Rahat Saheb, Omila Bir. Straight away, I'm going to the question, and my question is with Mr. Juan. Juan doesn't need any introduction, as Iqtedar Abdi has already introduced him. Mr. Juan, my question is, how did you go about integrating the Australian ethos with this project? In what way do you think Australians will be able to connect with this entire exercise, which is being organized and which is going to be completed?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Omila for recommending me to do the project. It has been extremely interesting to be covering both English and the two other languages. Both interesting and quite challenging to be able to get the languages as text into our design. I think we've done a pretty good job in managing that, if I may say. And further to that, I think we shouldn't be intimidated as Australians in producing work which contains foreign language.
So Juan, I was very confident that you'd be able to do this, which is why it wasn't recommended as such, but it just came from my heart.
Well, thank you very much.
That's great. Yes, Iram.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, namaste and good evening. We are very pleased to have both Mr. Michael Raj and Mr. Juan Lozano from the Rahat project here to speak with us today. As Michael has played a key role in advising the Rahat project on promotional creativity, work done in English, and conveying significant theme regarding peace and harmony to the Australian audience. So my first question is to you, Michael. As we know, Rahat project was written and performed in Hindi and Urdu. What was it like to work on a project that was initially written in different language? And what did you like most about the project?
Thank you, Iram, and all of you. My friendship with Abbas spans well over 20 years. And I've also been involved in earlier projects with Dorian and Sandesh. Besides, my background is that I know quite a few other languages, which I don't even speak or understand, but have had exposures to them. Some I do have learned and speak, but it doesn't unfaze me. I mean, Hindi is something because of Bollywood and other things. To me, the music is the one that is, it sort of impresses me, or I'm sort of a ardent lover of it. And besides, what Abbas had talked about his projects, as always, seems to be always about doing something for somebody else. It is some ethos which I also agree and support. And so, so the Urdu or Hindi didn't worry me. The only one thing I asked him was, when he said that, when I asked him, look, what sort of audiences are we looking at? And he said it was the usual subcontinent and Australian, and plus Australian, not only Australian, South Asian, but also other communities here. And I thought once you get onto the internet, then it's going to be the globe, the world. Therefore, let's have a little translation of the gist of the Rahat poems, or per track, and at least someone who listens to it. Because I've seen comments of other people who have listened to music and they say, I love this music, just Hindi or South Asian, but I don't know what it means, but it's so beautiful. So I thought it should be also for those kind of, so to me, it's not blind faith, but a full confidence in what Abbas has done and is doing. And the fact that I had to look at translations, didn't challenge me. But it was a lot of conversations I had to have with him to try to draw out his thinking and how also do some inquiry about Mr. Hart. And it seems to be a tribute to his legacy. So that's a noble cause enough for me. So the language doesn't worry me. And besides, it seems to had to get this in language, the sort of edits to Abbas for his review and whoever else he had to consult. So I knew there was a checking mechanism there. It really doesn't matter whether I knew the lyrics of the song, but it seemed to be like it was the right thing to do. Makes sense? Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It's really wonderful to hear your experience, which is really conveying the message of peace and harmony. And that was very insightful. So thank you. Bhai?
Okay, thanks. Again, my question is with the Michael Raj. And this is exactly the second question from my side is about the same. Like you are living in Western Australia. Juan is living in Melbourne.
Yes.
And Abbas Bhai is living in Sydney. So what sort of challenges did you face during working together and collaborating on such a very important project like Rahat project? What are the challenges in working with and collaboration?
I think the two challenges I would say is time and deadlines. And secondly, it is the time difference. So one has to work within, because I'm 3 hours ahead in summertime and 2 hours. So it was necessary to, and also try to turn it around because it shouldn't hold up people. The distance doesn't unfaze me because, again, I do quite a lot of other things. In some of the boards I do sit with also in New South Wales, etc. So distance is nothing. It's a matter of conveying information and being rapid turnaround. The thing was, the other challenges, might I say, with Abbas, myself, and Juan is we had to contend with the computer because it would grammatically recorrect the lyrics or the sentences we wrote with its own words because it's checking and we had to be very careful where the comma was or what Brain or Brian or whatever this name, it changes the words. So it was important to make sure that when the final script was done, that it was word by word checked again. And Abbas will tell you that always I'll ask him, have you checked it again? Have you checked it again to make sure that it's got the content we want and not, because once it's printed, we are sunk. It just cannot be reversed to them. So those are the challenges. Time a bit. And but we all on the same page. And Juan was very, very good in turning around. Oh, the other aspect is constraints of space. The real set space on covers and the various booklets. We had to abide by certain limits of words or where the pictures and where the various legends and labels go. So we tried a few things, and I used to send him some of my suggestions, either in a graphic form or in words, and then leave it to Abbas to liaise with Juan. And the outcome is what you see now in the final product.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. This is again is a proof that the language, the poetry, and the music has no boundary, no region, no religion, no language,
absolutely
nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Might I say one last thing? Also, Abbas Bhai doesn't say much about it, but to have curated all these people, 65 people in all,
wow,
for different sort of skills and all of them, and keep them all in some form of order and tap and get the best out of them. I think that is a skill by itself, which he doesn't say much about. It's a tribute to what he's getting, and also the legacy of Rahat, because this is one way of remembering the person. Otherwise, those verses would be lying in the drawers or a bookshelf or something. Now it's been transformed into a song and just got given more life, and the music, and then all these young people and musicians have now transformed it into, added more value and color to it. And now it's going to be spreading around the world now.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you rightly said. Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael,
thanks again, Michael. Now I hand over to Iram.
Michael, thank you for making profile for all of us, for that 65 people. So thanks a lot for that.
Omila Ji.
So it's Omila Bhai. Thank you. Michael, I just wanted to say, first of all, my gratefulness and very sincere regards to you for all the hard work which you have done. What really touched me towards the end when you said that for so many people to come together and create a cohesive music album as this, how many verses my dad would have written. You know, I was cleaning a cupboard this weekend, and in the drawer, I found so many papers with my dad's writing on it. And although I can read his books quite easily, but his handwritten script is very hard to read at times. But I just wanted to say, you know, like you captured it very succinctly by saying how many years and years and years of work he put in for some of his verses to be captured by Abbas Bhai and the rest of the team.
Artist who is sitting just beside you, Mr. Abbas Raza Alvi, I will ask in his creativity and creative way to summarize the entire project in 1 minute with the audience of Suniye Tau, Mr. Abbas Raza Alvi.
Okay, both Michael Raj and Juan both of them were for me like we are communicating in English, everything. And certainly we had certain difficulties, but it was done so nicely. I really didn't feel that this is an Urdu Ghazal project or Hindi versions or something like that. And Juan is doing this work. Of course, Michael, we have very strong, very previous experience for many, many years. But Juan was acting first time and we had a technical difficulties. And I'm pleased to mention that he found out the ways for that, especially it was for the Urdu fonts. When he was taking the Urdu font and converting into the CD, fonts were changing. So he has to find out a special app on the Mac to do that job. And he has done the wonderful job without even able to read the Hindi and Urdu. He has done the wonderful job. He was totally with the feel of the CD, whole things. We exchanged number of color combinations and other things with him. But what work he has done, actually, I will say it is really good. And let me mention the original creator of Rahat CD, the artist Mr. Bukhari in Pakistan, has especially conveyed his thanks. He says that this is somebody who either understand our language or understand our feel, who has done this artwork. He really liked your artwork very much because he's very happy. On the other side, the Michael Raj, Michael is actually, I will say, the communication link between our project and the rest of the audience, because everybody's profile even has been set up by him. All these slogans, what should be written there, it has all come from him. And I probably trust him more than myself on these matters. He has done really very wonderful job, and I'm pretty sure that it will be liked by the audience as well as everyone else.
Okay, thank you very much, Abbas Bhai. To Iram, to go ahead and ask last question with Mr. Juan.
Sure. Thank you. So as we know, Juan is a graphic artist with 40 years of experience in the print and audio visual industry. He has designed and produced exhibitions for some of the biggest private and government organizations. So my question to you, Juan, is your design for the CD and the booklet were beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your design. What influenced this colorful montage?
Oh, well, it all stems from the original painting supplied to me by Abbas, by the painter in India. The colors are all derived from the palette that he has used. Really, our job as graphic artists is to take all the elements and combine them in a pleasant looking design, and more importantly though, that the text has no errors and that it reads correctly, and we end up with a product that can't be too bad.
It wasn't too bad. It's beautiful.
That's right. It's really beautiful.
It's actually quite.
Can't be faulted is what everyone should say. Nobody can find a fault with it.
Again, these things don't happen in isolation by the designer. I found in my years of design that if you have a good director who knows what he's doing and sees the project as it will be at the end, it makes our lives a lot easier, because we don't have to go through, thousands of design submissions. Pretty much we arrived at the acceptable submission pretty much straight away, which of course allows us to then concentrate on getting everything correct. Absolutely.
Thank you, Juan. It was wonderful to hear about your experience with the project. It was a pleasure to gain your and Michael insight on the Rahat projects today. Thank you for your time. And I would like, sorry, yeah?
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Juan, you missed my thanks. I did say earlier that you and I have known each other for more than 20 years now. Associations during life journey bring so many people together. I've really valued your association in all these years, and just on behalf of the Rahat family, I wanted to express my very sincere gratefulness, gratitude, and thanks to everyone who's part of this evening, but especially Juan and Michael. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Omila ji, and all the participants, all the contributors, all the artists, all the creativity they have put in this project. Thank you very much, everyone. And now I would like quickly to Iqtedar bhai to say thank you to everyone on behalf of Suniye Tau and the team and the participant. Iqtedar bhai.
Thank you, Fasi bhai and Iram, individually for managing this this particular session as beautifully as you've done in the past. And on top of that, I'm very thankful to Juan and Michael for finding time and being with us, and the internal thoughts and internal feelings, and being very very open about it is not always easy. And I'm glad that Juan and Michael have come out with that, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. So of course, Raza bhai is the leader, keeps quiet, but yeah, we are thankful for that in both senses. But when he does say things, then it means a lot for all of us. And of course, Omila Ben is darling as far as our family is concerned, and her association with OK Uncle is treasured by the whole family, my personal family, and all probably the team members here. So we thank her. And of course, on top of that, definitely the viewers of Suniye Tau are worthy of thanks for spending time and listening to all the content that is gone on in this particular session. And for future, we have just one more session before the release of this CD, which we are hoping will be in May. So in the next session, we are going to talk about the actual translated or transliterated text, which has been done by Wahab Siddiqui and by Zafar Siddiqui, who will be the main guests in the next session. So I thank you all for being part of this particular session, and look forward to seeing you in future once again. Thank you. All the best. Have a very good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.